Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about biological psychology and the importance of movement and exercise. So, to start with, I'm going to ask you a question. What's the difference between human beings and all other animals? Now, most people would answer this question intelligence. But what I'm hoping you came up with is we have the ability to move in more fine detail ways. We can move our lips and mouth so we can speak. We can move our fingers to type, write, and make things. And according to Daniel Wolpert, our big brain is not for thinking, it's for the adaptable and complex movements. So, do plants have a brain? Of course not, because they don't need to move. Now, a computer might be able to beat a grandmaster in chess, but no computer can manipulate a chess piece like a 6-year-old child. Human beings, as we are today, appeared on Earth about 50,000 years ago, and there have been no significant upgrades since. We are not sure how humans came to be, but we became the breakout species. And there's very little genetic variation in humans. All humans were dark skinned until about 20,000 years ago when humans lived in areas with a lot of sun. According to the work of David Carrier, humans are not just made for running with the long legs and bipedalism, which means we stand on two legs, but the big lungs make us the best endurance runners on the planet. Humans may be the third species of chimpanzees, but we're a radical difference from the chimp design. There are 26 adaptations of the human skeleton for running, led by the legs and the arched foot. You may be familiar with the term homeostasis, which means the body returns to the normal state. But are you familiar with the term hormesis? Because in hormesis, we return to a better state. So if we experience a toxin, the body will handle it better the next time. When we lift weights, we damage the muscles, but they grow back stronger. Movement places a demand on the brain. So the brain releases brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which we just call BDNF, which triggers growth to brain cells to meet the increased demand. Now, BDNF floods the brain, so the whole brain flourishes as a result of movement. Muscles can pull, but they cannot push because they're arranged to work together as agonists and antagonists. So the biceps are the flexors and the triceps are the extensors. Muscles are made up of extrafusal muscle fiber. A neuron is associated with several extrafusal muscle fibers to form a motor unit, and each muscle involves several motor units in the spinal cord, forming what we call a motor pool. Skeletal or striated muscles control movement, while smooth muscles control digestive system, and cardiac muscles control the heart. Neuromuscular junction is the synapse between the motor neuron and the muscle fiber. Acetylcholine is released in those synapses. Muscles have a combination of slow twitch fibers, which are aerobic, which means they use oxygen for movements, and fast twitch fibers, which are anaerobic. So slow twitch fibers do not fatigue, while fast twitch fibers do. People vary in their percentage of these two types, but aerobic training will help people gain a higher percentage of slow twitch muscles. You may have heard that besides our five senses, we have the sense of proprioception. Now, proprioceptors control movement by detecting the position of the part of our body. Proprioceptors control reflexes or involuntary movement. Proprioceptors provide the brain with information about where all the parts of the body are at the present time. Now, anybody over the age of 7 has the ability to inhibit movement. All right, so you're ready to hit a tennis ball and your partner says, let it go. Okay, so you've got the choice to either hit the ball or not hit the ball, but you can inhibit that movement. You have two brain areas sending competing messages, but your stop message can get you to hold up on your swing. Mirror neurons help people to understand other people, identify with them, and if they want to even imitate them. Mirror neurons are activated by watching people, but also hearing of an action or even just reading about an action. Mirror neurons can modify their properties through learning. Oh, you knew this was coming. Yes, we're going to talk about parts of the brain. Let's start with the primary motor cortex, which provides stimulation for movement of a specific part of the body. And then we've got the premotor cortex and the supplementary motor cortex, or the SMA, which selects movements encoded by the primary motor cortex and builds them into a complex sequence, such as grasping a visual target with your right hand. Now, we also have the primary somatosensory cortex, which can sense touch and temperature. And we've got the posterior parietal cortex, which plays a role in planned movements, attention, and spatial reasoning. Now, it's not surprising that one of the main parts of the brain, the cerebellum, plays a huge role in movement. It gives us this ability to balance, gives us posture, and it gives us the ability to have these very skilled, smooth movements so we can practice and do just about anything. So it also coordinates attention of the visual and auditory stimuli. And you may remember the basal ganglia. Remember, you get into your car and you don't even have to think about where to put the keys, what pedal to step on, etc., because the basal ganglia helps us remember all these movements. So the basal ganglia is a group of subcortical nuclei, and it plays this key role in voluntary movements. It also plays a role in emotions, motivation, habits, learning, and gives us this ability to remember movements based on practice. So, has the world evolved into this sedentary lifestyle? Well, I certainly hope not. I hope every one of you get out there and exercise, and I'm going to show you the benefits of why you should do that. Now, just look at this slide here. Self acceptance, positive attitude. Yes, you get these through exercise. Personal growth, mental health, positive relations with other people. Aren't you convinced to start exercising? Still not convinced? Look at this. Cardiovascular disease goes down. Type 2 diabetes goes down. Colon cancer goes down. Depression goes down as a result of exercise. And even dementia goes down. Now, you're feeling somewhat depressed and you feel like you have to run to the physician for some type of SSRI. Well, guess what? You don't have to do that. Exercise is the most potent and underutilized antidepressant, and the cost is free. So we can go on and on about the benefits of exercise, but I hope you know by now this should be a very, very important part of your life. And we can even look at this slide. Look at this. Limits sickness, increases brain power. I'm convinced. I hope you are. Now you're going to tell me, now wait a minute. I'm a gamer. I don't have time for exercise. Well, guess what? There's games designed for exercise. Now, everywhere you look, you're going to find more and more benefits of exercise. So I've got this slide here, and I even found some more. Look, it improves sleep. It improves your sex drive. It reduces stress. It eases anxiety. It reduces pain. See, everywhere you look, there's more and more benefits of exercise. Oh, I'm just so glad I went to the gym before I started recording these videos today. I hope you enjoyed today's presentation. Thank you very much.